think you move them out that way on either side.
How could I express all my gratitude?
What have you guys done today? Breakfast?
Breakfast. Katie, Mason, and I went to Walmart.
As I often do.
Yeah.
But every song was so I throw up my hands and praise you again and again. 'Cause all that I have is a hallelujah, hallelujah. And I know it's not much, but I've nothing else fit for a king except for a heart singing hallelujah, hallelujah.
Outfit check. My Oklahoma t-shirt, some black high-waisted pants, and my little jean jacket, and It's Monday ponytail. So, it has been a not fun day. Not fun at all. I wasn't surprised to get a note from my sub that said that my students were difficult to handle, because I know that I have students that will try you this year. They're sweet kids, but they don't know how to regulate themselves. When a few of them get going, there's a couple of really big personalities in there that tend to lead the mood of the class. And when a couple of them start going, then the whole class sort of like spirals. When that spiral starts to happen, it is hard. It's hard to recover. Hello, it is the next day. I'm having a much better day today. My students are falling back in line with my procedures, which it's nice. I wish that having a sub didn't do that, but there isn't anything that you can do when it's something as important as your family member's wedding, so it just is what it is. And also I have a couple of kids absent today, which just lower numbers, less people that aggravate each other. It's just made it a little bit easier today, so it's been nice. I've been enjoying it. I've been able to smile and enjoy my kids and not correct behavior so much. I did have a couple little things that just happened, which I have to enter into a computer system, but kind of been taking it easy today. I'm not rushing any of my normal things that I do, like I'm doing these folders right now. I usually would have these done already, but they're done. I didn't have anything that I needed to do, so that's good to go. So yeah, I'm going to print out a foldable that we're working on today. We are doing the 3 branches of government and checks and balances, and yesterday we did something super fun. We did a mock Congress. It wasn't perfectly accurate, but it was enough for the kids to understand sort of how it works. I think I might let them watch a little clip today of the real Congress, so they can kind of see what that looks like compared to what we did. But anyway, I was the president, and I picked a Speaker of the House, and then all the students had to write down something that they thought we should have as a law. And then the speaker would read one of them, and then I gave students an opportunity to raise their hand if they wanted to say something for or against that. And the Speaker of the House picked each person that had to speak. And then after, we had heard from both opinions on it, a few students each, then we went ahead and voted, and we picked a cabinet. And so if there was like a close vote, or if there was a questionable law, then the cabinet had to tell what they thought, give me advice, and then I would either veto it or I would sign it into law. So some of the things the kids came up with were funny. Like one of them was, oh, you have to bring a piece of candy to class for the teacher every day or you lose dojo points. And then another kid said the teacher should be allowed to spank kids who are bad. So it was interesting. We got to talk a lot about how the laws have to make sense with the the federal government's laws. They can't go against the federal government's laws, or else it's not allowed, basically. So they learned a lot from doing it. I felt like it was a really positive activity for them. Then in math today, we started our new unit. We're doing area and perimeter and multiplicative comparison. So they had to do this build a dog pen for your dog activity. It was a problem solving with a partner, and they had to use their manipulatives that were in their math kits to create a dog pen using 24 feet of fencing. So every square in their little math kit represented 1 foot, and then they had to find different ways of doing that. And so basically they came up with one way, they drew it, they had to label the length and the width, and then we shared all of them up on the board, and there were a couple that they didn't think of, and so I shared those also so that they could see that there was different ways of making 24. So that was today's activity. Need to take a look at tomorrow's and see what I have to prep for that, because there wasn't actually a worksheet for it, so just have to make sure that I'm ready for that. We are done with the first skills assessment. I have to look and see what else I have to do for assessments. I might have to print out some materials for tomorrow for my reading assessments. I have some kids that were fast finishers, so I'm gonna have to make sure that they have something fun that they can do if they're done with all of their slides that they do during reading. And then tomorrow I do need to actually direct teach some skills in reading as well as doing the assessments. So that's kind of where we're at. I'm going to spend a little planning time doing that, and then I have to pull some stuff for social studies, and we will be all ready. And then tonight when I go home, I'm really trying to focus exclusively on my grad work because I am behind right now. There's just been so much going on with the wedding and my class and everything that I just haven't had a chance to really work on my grad work and focus on it. So I have a couple assignments I need to work on. I'm going to try to get one done over the next few nights, and then I'm going to try to really put in some time on Saturday and get myself squared away so that I will not be behind anymore. And then hopefully going into next week, I should be in good shape. So I'm going to go ahead and take a little work time, and then I'll check back in with you later on. So it is the end of the day on Wednesday. I actually had a really nice day today. The students were really being well behaved today, following directions. We're back in a routine. I unfortunately have to be out for a day tomorrow due to a medical appointment, which you can't avoid. It's really important. I just need to, in this season of busyness, not neglect to take care of myself. And I've been noticing with my stress levels going up from a lot of things that are happening lately, that it's hard for me to focus and do the work that I need to do in the evenings with my grad classes. So I'm just gonna check in with my primary care doctor, have a checkup, go over some of my symptoms, see if there's anything else that she can do, and also get a work note that states that I am, eligible for extended sick leave this year, because I had used up all of my days last year for my knee surgery. And so with the challenges of trying to complete my doctorate this year, handling a large class, still trying to do things, to support and serve the school, it's a lot that I'm asking of myself, like physically and mentally and emotionally, and all of those things go together when you have fibromyalgia, that your stress becomes your physical pain, and sometimes just, you get fatigued. So I'm trying to be smart and just get my doctor's advice on how I should proceed the rest of the year, see if there's anything else that she wants me to do, and then, also that I'll have my doctor's note that states that I can be out if need be, because I need to be proactive with taking my days. And I know that there's controversy over the whole taking your days thing, but your sick days are a benefit. It's part of your benefits package. And, my feeling is that if you're given a benefit, then you shouldn't have to feel guilty for using the benefit, especially when you're using the benefit to improve your own health, to protect your health. And, I save them when I can, but I know from experience that if I don't take my time when I'm starting to feel like I'm getting worn down, then it'll end up being more time later. And I definitely don't want to push myself to the point where I'm in a flare-up, because sometimes it can take weeks to get out of a flare-up if it's bad enough. And I've been there, and I don't ever want to be there again. I literally, before my diagnosis in 2012, I was in bed. I literally would make it through work and go home, and I would be in bed in the evenings, unable to do anything. And that went on for several years before I decided to try to figure out what was going on. And I guess I just always thought I was exhausted because of being a teacher, but then I realized that wasn't normal. It's something extra. And it took them a while once they started, doing tests. Of course, they started with the obvious, like iron deficiency, thyroid, different things like that. It took quite a while to figure out what it was. And then after that, it took me some experimenting to figure out what I could do to reduce the symptoms. And I do feel like I'm in a pretty good spot as far as knowing what types of things to eat, what not to eat, that can aggravate it. I've switched to a much more natural diet over the years, a lot less processed food, eliminated sweeteners and things like that. But sometimes when there's many things going on and things that are out of your control, you can't, as a person with fibromyalgia, just tell yourself positive things and wish it away. It's not like that. So if it's something that I can't actively do to combat the stress, then, I just have to take some time periodically and allow myself to take care of myself, so that it doesn't become a major issue, because it could be disabling, and I'm not going to allow it to be a disabling factor in my life. I've put so many hours into this doctorate program. I have really worked hard, and I don't want to have to quit. I don't want to not do well and have to retake any classes, have a problem with my financial aid, anything like that. So it's really important to me that this goes well, and it's really important to me that I prioritize finishing my program, getting my licensure, all the things that I have been trying to do since 2020. I'm going to finish, and I have to prioritize this right now. So I actually made a brave decision and told my boss that I could not do the sit chair job. It is something that part of me feels like I'm letting my team down, but at the same time, I know that there are some really great teachers in our school improvement team that could do this job just as well as me, if not better. And it doesn't hurt to step back and let some other people step in and take a leadership role and grow themselves. Sometimes being a leader is knowing when to delegate or knowing when to step back and let other people become leaders. So they say you're not a leader until you've actually trained someone to be a leader. So, you know, you can't, if you take over everything, then you're never allowing other people to grow. So it's just something that I have to do for me right now. I'm still going to be working closely with MTSS. As far as SIT team, I'm going to take more of a participant role and attend when I can and stay home when I need to work on schoolwork so that I can finish my doctorate. So that's what's up. I'm sitting here. I'm really happy. I got a lot of assessments done today with my students for reading, so I'm getting a better handle on what skills they have, what skills they need, how I can work with students when I have intervention to help them succeed in reading. So I got that done today. While I'm gone, I'm gonna leave them some practice on area and perimeter, which is the topic that we just started. And today they really, I think, started to grasp it, understand it, and I just want them to do some repetitive work with the problems now so that they can get really good at it. And as far as their reading, they're going to be doing an assessment that's on grammar tomorrow. And then I'm going to let them finish up their playlist, their slide playlist that we started, which they've actually really enjoyed. So I think that's something I'm going to continue. It's going really well. It is helpful for my student that is learning from home right now. I have one student that's working with a homebound teacher, and then when he comes back, I will still need to provide things for him. And it's so nice that I'm able to do these things digitally and I don't have to worry about the copier, whether it's working. I can just put it on there, create it. It's something that my students can work on in here when they need some enrichment or some, you know, fast finisher activities or just part of their station work. And then it's something that also my students who are working from home can work on, or if anyone's absent or anything like that, it's all on there. Yeah, I'm happy with the way that went this week. Feeling pretty positive. I'm glad to have a day tomorrow to regroup, get my health taken care of, and then come back and be planned and prepared and ready to move forward with the rest of September into the busy season of October, which is why I'm doing this now, because I know in October we'll start having parent-teacher conferences and it's going to be even busier than it is right now, and I just really want to stay on top of things so that I don't regret it later on. I also am filling out this staff development form right now, which is requesting time off for November 2nd and 3rd to present based on my Go Global Teachers experience in Zimbabwe. I'm presenting some lesson plans that I wrote in connection to that for a science teachers conference, the National Science Teachers Conference. I'm going to be presenting at that conference in Winston-Salem. So I'm filling out all the paperwork for that, and I got to go grab some things off the copier real quick because I printed out my mileage. I printed out the food allowances because I'm tabulating everything, how much it's going to cost, and putting it into my request off so that I can get my reimbursement when I get back. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm going to finalize my sub plans, and then I'm going to go home and get some dinner and try to relax. Hello. All right, let's see if all my stuff printed. Let's hope. Let's hope. Looks like it might have. Where's all of this? Oh, it did print. Good. Okay. Let's make sure. Okay. I think that's everything. I got my hotel reservation info. I just dropped something. That's not good. What is this? Oops. I'm just taking my good old time today. Like, I just don't want to be in a rush. I don't really have anything major that like I'm going to have a lot more time tomorrow. So I guess I'm not super worried. Hi. Not super worried about getting home at a certain time. Okay, time for a snack. All right. I just sent a request to the science teacher at the high school because I kind of don't want to go to that conference all the way in Winston-Salem by myself. It's more fun to go with someone else, at least be with them for part of the time, especially like when you're eating and stuff. It's more fun. So I sent her an email and asked her if she would like to go, and then sent her the registration link. So maybe I will have a friend. Here's my hotel receipt, and it says breakfast. Here's my conference schedule. I have to get all this stuff together so that they will pay for it all. And this is the worksheet that they're going to work on tomorrow for area and perimeter. They're going to do it. It's not too many problems. It's just 8 practice problems because it's area and perimeter. So that'll take them a little while. And then these are my morning work slips. So there's 3 to a page, but it's all the same thing. So it just has them do 2 problems, area and perimeter, for each day. And then it has a place, I like this one because it has a place where the student can rate themselves 1 through 4 on how well they understood it, and the teacher can rate the student 1 through 4. So it's really nice for formative assessment and self-evaluation as well. So this is the super cute foldable that we made. The kids really enjoyed doing this about the 3 branches of government. So they had to figure out what the name of the building was where that occurs, or what's the symbol for it, and then which branch it is. And then on the inside, I didn't make them write a ton because I have some kids that they would have been really messy and they wouldn't have even been able to read it later. So I just printed out these things that were the notes of what I wanted them to know about each branch. So like when they opened the executive branch, the executive branch stuff is supposed to be right here, although I'm noticing that this person did not do it that way, but most of them did, so that they can study what's important about each one. And then today we used these, so they practiced. I asked questions and I said which branch, and then I would read one of these things, and then they would raise their hand, and once they found the answer, and so they got to practice what was related to what. And there's a really cute branches of government chase game that's an online game. It's free, and I'll link it in the description box also. This was a TPT product. I'm trying to remember. I think I paid $1 for it. I usually don't buy ones that are more than like a couple dollars unless it's something that I know is like I have a real gap and it's causing me to have a lot of time spent in creating things, and I find something that's just right, that fits the standards and the rigor that I need. Other than that, I just buy like I get the freebies and the like $1 or $2 things, and that's it. But I thought this one was cute, and I liked that it already had this typed up, so I didn't have to do that. It saved me some time. Anyway, the game I will link below. Basically, you click on one of the branches of government on the picture, and then a little guy comes up and he's running back and forth, and he has a basket, and all these things start falling out of the sky. They're like these little icons that represent things that the branches of government do, and the guy has to like collect only the ones that go with the branch of government that you're working on. So if it's legislative, there might be like a little scroll for like a law or a bill. And, you know, if it's executive, it might have like the cabinet members in a group, things like that. So they only collect the things that go with that particular branch. And then they, if they accidentally collect something that's not, then it's like a strike against them. And after it's like maybe 5 wrong answers, then they die, but then they get unlimited lives. So it was kind of fun, just a fun way to practice. It gamified their practice so that it wasn't just simply them reading to each other and, you know, they just thought they were playing, and they were actually studying, but in a 4th grade study way. So that was a good little practice activity for us to do. Anyway, my students, one thing I really enjoy about this year's group of students, even though I do have a big class, I do have a lot of different levels and different behaviors that I'm like managing. I have mostly kids that really want to be learning. Even though they might say they didn't want to be at school, it's more like I didn't want to get out of bed. It's not like I really could care less if I learned anything today. And that is so refreshing. Let me just say how refreshing that is. I have a couple of kids who could cop an attitude once in a while, but it's only a mood that they're in. It's not their like everyday way that they come into class. They usually, and I have maybe 1 or 2 that are not super excited about doing their work, but they do it. They're compliant and they still interact with the other kids, and you can kind of joke around with them a little bit, and it's just nice. And every once in a while you can get them to smile, but most of them are like really happy kids, really like into learning. I don't have a lot of problems with motivation. I just found my September calendar thing. I was like, what did I do with it? I have been looking for this all over. I put my calendar up weeks ago, and I was like, where is my little September thing? And now I know. I have it right here. I have a lot of grading that I need to do. I just made a big stack over here. I need to take it home. I probably need to try to get caught up on that tomorrow as one of my to-do items. All right, what am I doing? I need a stapler. I can't wait to do this next reading unit, guys, when we finish these assessments. It's all about the Middle Ages, medieval times, and it's castles and knights, and it's going to be so much fun. I'm really looking forward to it. I have to find some ways to like spice up the, I don't know, presentation of them so that they can really get a feel for what it was like back then. I think it'll be really, really fun. And the kids are excited about castles. I showed them a few pictures of castles online, and they were like, ooh. And one of the activities I gave them on their playlist of things that they could do online while I was doing the assessments was draw your own castle, like research what different castles look like and draw your own castle. And they got really into it. They were super excited about it. I feel like so much has happened since the beginning of the school year. Like, it's like that first day of school is so far away in my mind right now. And we haven't even had our first 9 weeks over yet. Like, I don't know. It's just insane to me. It is, I don't know, it's been a very busy and eventful beginning of the school year. Okay, I'll have to put that back up later the rest of the way, but it's up there. Last night, Joe and a friend of ours took me to a local Mexican restaurant and we hung out and talked teaching and relaxed, and it was really nice. And then some of the teachers are actually going to Puerto Rico in like a long weekend in January, and Joe and I are talking about going. I've always wanted to go to Puerto Rico and I'm really excited. But these are morning work. I'll need to pass these out before I go. Print. And I am going home. Y'all, so here's what happened to me. I got a lot of things done today. I spent a lot of time working on schoolwork and just catching up on things. Really didn't do anything much around the house. It was mostly like computer work, kind of boring. I didn't insert any clips of that. But then I get on my email this afternoon and there is a message that due to the tropical storm that's coming in, Tropical Storm 16, they are having a remote day tomorrow for our school. So I'm going to get to work from home once again tomorrow. So I think Joe and I are going to go out and restock our groceries and do a bunch of things around the house and get ready for tomorrow. So I'm going to go ahead and end the vlog off here. But check back in with me next week for my next lifestyle vlog, and I will show you all of the stuff that we accomplish on our remote day. Looking forward to working from home. It's just kind of a nice change of pace every once in a while, and I really like I said, remote learning. So yeah, yay me. Thank you so much for being here. I couldn't do it without you. As always, don't forget to work hard, be kind, and amazing things will happen.